And then you push us into cubicles where we're not even allowed to date our colleagues, and we can't even crack jokes with our colleagues, or else we'll get hauled into HR.
Boy, you just can't walk into work anymore and smack it. The right is floundering over anyone who's not a straight, white, cis male wanting rights.
I have to double down on this. You know, they care so much about everybody voting in democracy, and it's like, if you went back to the founding, and the founding fathers would have said something to the effect of like, yeah, women and probably feminine men shouldn't be allowed to vote because then their chaotic nature would manifest throughout society.
That's right.
And you would say, well, no, that's not right. That's mean. You're probably an incel. And then the founding father would just say, oh, well, do you have any evidence from your time that would contradict this? And you'd just be like, no, not exactly, not exactly. So it would seem that they were actually right.
The right is always so quick to use, oh, the founding fathers would have said this, and they're almost always wrong. But let's say, for argument's sake, that the founding fathers said this, and they said, do you have any proof that women and effeminate men, I guess, can be effective leaders? And yes. Why, yes, I do. Quite a few pieces of proof. Actually, according to the Harvard Business Review, Zenger-Folkman and multiple other significant scientific studies found that women in leadership positions scored significantly higher on leadership competencies and were perceived as more competent than their male counterparts. Not to mention, during the COVID pandemic, the countries that fared the best as far as deaths, cases, and economy were all headed by women, as far as New Zealand. They have 5 million people in their population. I understand that's much smaller than a lot of other countries, but percentage-wise, it's still significantly different than countries such as the US run by men. There were 2,000 total cases of COVID in New Zealand and only 25 deaths run by a woman. In Germany, there were 10,000 deaths and an 84 million population, Angela Merkel. And in Bangladesh, also run by a woman, in a population of over 150 million people, there were only 4,000 deaths from COVID. So yeah, I'd say that women are decently effective leaders, and everyone seems to agree, except for you. And the more people want rights for anything eco-friendly, you know, right to live on the planet in the future, the right to not die in a mass shooting, so gun control laws, well, the right thinks that's an attack on masculinity.
Men are not toxic, society's toxic. And look what you've done to us. You've taken our guns.
Who's taken your guns? I don't think that's happened. I think there's been arguments to take some guns, especially assault rifles, but I don't think anyone's taken your guns yet.
You say our trucks are killing the environment?
I mean, they are. Public transportation just makes more sense.
All the jobs you sent to China, and then you bring in all of Latin America to do the rest of them. And then you push us into cubicles where we're not even allowed to date our colleagues, and we can't even crack jokes with our colleagues, or else we'll get hauled into HR.
Boy, you just can't walk into work anymore and smack it.
Tear down our statues. They say meat is bad for us. And if you lift weights, you're a white supremacist. And if you play golf, you have white privilege. So, and if you don't like his wife, you're sexist. So then they tell us your feelings. And then we say, you know what? This is how I feel. Men and women are different. and then they call us transphobic.
Got him!
Republicans are so caged by their perception of a gender binary that I almost feel bad for them. I mean, if I don't have my trucks and my guns, what am I? I'm not a man. Come on. They call us the fragile snowflakes, but they're the ones who can't possibly conceive of a gender identity without tragic stereotypes. Thank you so much for watching. If you got something out of this video, please like and share it. Consider subscribing to The Breakdown on YouTube for more videos like this, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.